Conor McGregor shocked the world of mixed martial arts in April 2018 when he and a gang of Irish friends invaded the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, looking to start a brawl with UFC 223 main event fighter Khabib Nurmagomedov. The ensuing chaos saw Conor McGregor throw a metal dolly through a bus window, resulting in his arrest and felony charges being pressed on the former double champ. But what started this whole incident? Why did McGregor attack that bus? And what will be the repercussions for the UFC's biggest star? Let's take a look. UFC 223 went down on April 7, 2018, headlined by Russian lightweight Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is set to fight for the lightweight belt currently in Conor McGregor's possession. Due to McGregor not defending the title since he won it in November 2016, the UFC finally made the decision to strip Conor and put the 155-pound belt back up for grabs. But it wasn't Khabib potentially taking McGregor's belt that got the Irish fighter so upset he jumped on a private jet with 20 friends from his gym. It was an altercation Khabib had with Conor's good friend and fellow UFC 223 fighter Artem Lobov on Tuesday, April 3rd, in the hotel housing all the athletes for the event. Video of the incident shows Khabib and his large entourage tracking Lobov and cornering him. Nurmagomedov put a hand on the back of Lobov's neck and talked heatedly with him in Russian while slapping him. Let's be clear, these aren't full-blown slaps by any means, but the whole thing was pretty aggressive and a clear attempt to intimidate Artem Lobov. Khabib's decision to confront Artem stems from a Russian language interview given by Artem last year, where he criticized Khabib's habit of pulling out of fights. "Who is chicken here? Who is afraid?" Artem said to Sports 24RU. Conor shows up every time, no matter what. He's a true fighter. He's a true champion. Champion isn't just a belt around your waist. It's mentality. It's your heart. Conor is a real champion, and Khabib is not even close. Did you see Conor pulling out of a fight even once? Everyone has injuries. Everyone has problems making weight. But one is a champion and shows up no matter what. And the other one is a coward, who pulls out every time. Calling a fighter a coward is a good way to kick off a confrontation, and that's exactly what happened. A UFC employee was on hand to make sure things didn't turn into a full-blown fight, but no one stepped in to stop Khabib from putting his hands on Artem, and no repercussions from the UFC were forthcoming, which apparently angered Conor quite a lot. Consider this. You're the biggest fighter in the UFC, and everyone is looking to fight you, but they're also trying to take you down a peg with insults. Nurmagomedov had been talking his own trash at McGregor for months now, but now he was taking things to another level by physically accosting a key member of McGregor's entourage. As McGregor told Dana White immediately afterwards in text messages, something had to be done. On Thursday, April 3rd, McGregor and a group of fighters from his Straight Blast gym in Dublin arrived by private jet in New York and rushed to a UFC 223 media day being held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. They arrived just after the promotional event ended, and fighters were being loaded onto buses to be transported back to their hotels. You've seen what happened next. McGregor made a beeline for the bus Nurmagomedov's team was on and started banging on the windows, demanding the Dagestani fighter get off and face him. When it became apparent that the bus driver wasn't about to open the doors for an angry mob, McGregor got a metal dolly and threw it through one of the bus windows. One of his SBG teammates, Kian Cali, was also caught on camera throwing a chair into the windshield of the bus. The attack left several fighters in the bus covered in glass. Lightweight Michael Chiesa suffered the worst visible cuts and was seen in footage with blood streaming down his face in the moments after the incident. Later that day, flyweight Ray Borg was taken to the hospital where doctors removed glass fragments from his eye. Both fighters were taken off UFC 223 due to their injuries. McGregor and his gang then fled from the venue, leaving a stunned UFC president Dana White to deal with the press and explain what just happened. He's going to be sued beyond belief, and this was a real bad career move for him, White said. "What went on today was criminal, disgusting, makes me sick, and we as an organization need to make sure this never happens again. You want to grab 30 fucking friends and come down here and do what you did today? It's disgusting. I don't know if he's on drugs or what his deal is." Later that evening, McGregor turned himself in to the NYPD 78th Precinct, where he spent the night in jail before being perp-walked in handcuffs to a car that took him to his arraignment on Friday afternoon. He was charged with 1 count of felony criminal mischief and 3 counts of misdemeanor assault before being released on $50,000 bail. As for a punishment from the UFC, Nothing has been done yet, although Dana White has said the promotion is waiting for the New York courts to deal with McGregor on June 14th. That was somewhat surprising to many people, who noted that other fighters had been fired from the UFC and given lifetime bans for less. White dropped the hammer on Paul Daley for throwing a punch at Josh Koscheck after their fight in 2010, saying Daley would never fight in the UFC again. And in 2014, Jason Hyde pushed a referee after losing a fight and was similarly banished from the UFC forever. UFC commentator Joe Rogan was one of the highest profile people to point out the obvious double standard that continues to apply whenever Conor McGregor is involved. Switch it around, he said. Imagine if Ray Borg threw that dolly and Conor McGregor was inside. He'd be gone. His career would be over. That's one of the more fucked up things about this, and you know that Conor is getting special treatment. He is, and that's not good for anybody. With Conor McGregor already the biggest moneymaker in UFC history by far, what can the promotion do? There's a lot more money to be made off a fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov now, and a second potential super fight with Floyd Mayweather. But if you think McGregor being allowed to stay in the UFC is an injustice, consider this. McGregor would actually make a lot more money off of his fights if he was promoting them on his own. In a way, not releasing Conor is a worse punishment for the fighter than releasing him would be. It took 2 New York City court appearances over 3.5 months for the legal consequences of Conor McGregor's actions to be ironed out. And on July 26, he got a deal that amounts to a slap on the wrist. In exchange for pleading guilty to 1 count of disorderly conduct, he was given 5 days of community service, an anger management evaluation, and a bill to fix the UFC bus he damaged.
I just want to say I'm thankful to the DA and the judge for allowing me to move forward. I want to say to my friends, my family, my fans, thank you for the support. Thank you.
Some things have been on hold for some time. Conor's been training. He's in shape. He's ready to go. So now it's just about getting back to business, and we hope to have some news to announce very soon.
The obvious opponent, Khabib Nurmagomedov, the man Conor was after when he attacked that bus.
I can't believe we're gonna fight, because I really want this guy. Make him humble, a little bit teach him, and not only smash, like change his face. I want to change his face. Of course, with the face, I can change his mind too. If you need me, like I say all the time, send me location. Why he need like 30 people, or I don't need nobody. If I have problem with somebody, I can come. Like I do with his teammate. And I don't punch him, don't do nothing. I just give him a little bit, calm down. I can't wait.
And on August 3rd, the UFC made it official. Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov would fight for the lightweight title at UFC 229 on October 6th. After the announcement, White had to assure the press that there wouldn't be a repeat of the near brawl from April.
No, I'm pretty confident that we can control what happened. What happened in New York, obviously, if you look at when that happened, everybody was loading onto the buses, everything was done, and our staff still handled it pretty damn well for what was going on and how it went down. And obviously now we're very aware and very ready for any of that. Nothing's gonna happen. We'll be good.
With Conor McGregor's reputation for wild behavior at UFC press conferences, we hope the UFC has extra security on hand at every event these two are together.